I was channel hopping recently and I came across Norman Baker, the former Liberal Democrat MP. I'm not sure if he still has a seat. I believe he lost a seat in either the 2017 or 2019 general election. But anyway, former high profile Liberal Democrat. Um, he was on RT. I didn't watch it for very long. I can't recall what the issue was, but quite honestly, I don't really think that matters. And I think that well, I find it staggering that after Salisbury, any British politician, mainstream British politician, would appear on that network. But there you have it. On Mr. Baker's Facebook page, there were some people criticizing him for writing for The Sun. That doesn't bother me as much as his appearance on RT. He was defending his writing for The Sun newspaper. He's a left-wing politician. The Sun's a right-wing tabloid, so that obviously raised some eyebrows. I mean, for some people, The Sun is pure evil. I wouldn't go quite that far, but I've no respect for The Sun, and I can totally understand the contentions against it. Um, but I still don't think it's as bad because The Sun at least is a British publication, so it's within the domain of the British political divide, British political debate, whatever the British culture wars. It's within that domain. I feel very strongly that RT, I mean, I've made no secret of my contempt for RT. I'd like to see its license stripped by Ofcom. And the same applies to CGTN, the Chinese network that so shamefully aired the forced confession of the investigator Peter Humphrey. He's now a BBC journalist. Um, I wrote to Ofcom. I'm well aware that my letter probably won't make a great deal of difference, but if I'm totally honest, I just compulsion I had to do it. I had to express my feelings in some format. I've also got contiguous petition going on with that to try and get CGTN's license stripped. I'd like to see both of these networks get their license stripped. I don't think they deserve to be in this country. RT's response to the Salisbury attack was ridicule. You know, they didn't just carry the official state deniance of what happened, but they actually went into mocking the situation. This was a nerve agent attack on British soil against the former Russian spy Sergei Skripal, but it ended up actually killing two British citizens. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was state terrorism by the Russian Federation against the United Kingdom. Um, Now, Norman Baker's not the first British politician to appear on RT. George Galloway has his own show, Sputnik. So does Alex Salmond. Now, in both of those cases, whilst I think it's contemptible, it's not really surprising. George Galloway's always been a pretty controversial, radical figure. Um, I think the man's an odious hypocrite. He praised Saddam Hussein. Um, he has the gall to um, vilify the architects of the Iraq War, but won't take any sort of responsibility for his own positions. In fact, he lies through his teeth about them. He claims, for example, he never praised Saddam Hussein. He did, and there's clear footage showing that. But regardless, that's George Galloway. He's a controversial figure. He's a fringe political figure. Alex Salmond, former First Minister of Scotland, former leader of the SNP. Well, there you have it. He's going to be anti-British. He wants, he's part of a political party that wants a breakup of this country. At least Nicola Sturgeon has had the good sense not to appear on RT. I think she's, as much as I dislike her politics, I think she's probably quite a skilled political operator. I don't think she's stupid. Some unionists might disagree with that. I think she's actually quite a capable politician. I hate her politics. I hate her party's agenda. I think she's quite a clever politician. Now, in both those cases, like I say, Alex Salmond and George Galloway. I remember when I was getting my Chinese visa, actually, I saw the Sputnik headquarters. It was in the same building as the Chinese consulate in Edinburgh. And, I'll be totally honest, I was very briefly tempted to uh, write some mischievous message on their door, but, what would be the point of getting fined for vandalism um, when I was trying to get a visa? Um, I really think that for a mainstream politician, the Liberal Democrats, the third party of this country, they're a mainstream party with every fig of them. For one of their former parliamentarians to appear on RT is galling. And I've seen others. There's been Tories that have appeared on RT. I believe Kate Hoey for Labour has also appeared on RT. I would question, or rather, I would urge any British politician who has any self respect, who has any sense of patriotism whatsoever, to think very carefully about that, because it doesn't matter what they think they're going on RT for. They may think they're going on to talk about whatever, Brexit or whatever it might be, but RT will always, always angle it in their favour, which is to scope Western society in a bad light and to scope Russia in a good light. And regardless, even if the issue isn't necessarily about the Russia West tensions or Syria or anything that's contentious, simply appearing on RT, in my opinion, legitimizes it because it presents it as just another voice, which is what they like to do. They're nothing of the sort. RT was set up with the specific agenda of promoting Russian ultranationalism. Now, you might argue that's the same with Fox News. It kind of promotes American nationalism. Um, I have no time for Fox News, but the point about RT is it's a tool of a hostile foreign state. That is absolutely irrefutable. RT promotes conspiracy theories as news. It invites on disgruntled experts who are usually RT likes to call them whistleblowers. Usually they're just disgruntled ex-employees who have an agenda. And RT presents it as news. They don't just interview people and say, oh, well, this is this person's opinion. If you look at the way that RT, I mean, I find it staggering that anyone with half a brain would look at RT and not see what it's doing. And really, I've seen people who say, oh, well, at least it's not as biased as the BBC or CNN. I mean, you have to be absolute tool to think that. Whatever fault the BBC has, and there's many, I just think that people who defend RT are being either astonishingly naive, willfully ignorant, or they are political radicals who have no problem with the fact this outlet is serving as a tool against the West. I mean, people will say, for example, the BBC has ignored the grooming gang scandal, and I say, yes, shame on the BBC. So RT will then pick it up, and they think, oh, well, RT's covering it, so that's good, credit to them. But they fail to realize RT isn't covering that because RT cares about the victims. RT is covering it solely to point out problems in British society. Um, and people really need to stop being used by this network. CGTN isn't as vociferously anti-Western as RT. However, what it doesn't hide is its bias towards the Chinese Communist Party. And what is absolutely lamentable about CGTN is its like I say, the fact that it has aired forced confessions. So, in my opinion, I would actually go so far as to say I think that mainstream politicians, that is, Conservative, Labour, Liberal Democrats, um, who who appear on these networks, I honestly think that should warrant suspension from their parties. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like to use the word treason. I think that's a very loaded term, but at best, it's incredibly naive. And if I was a party leader, I would definitely try to push that sort of. I mean, different parties have different internal mechanisms for who decides these things, but I would strongly question why any self-respecting Labour or Tory or Liberal Democrat MP or Brexit Party, if they want to be seen as mainstream, why they would appear on a mouthpiece of a hostile foreign state. I mean, that's okay. Talk about the Brexit Party. Let's say they appear on RT but they want to talk about how terrible the EU is. Is that really a patriotic act? Why not talk about how terrible the EU is in other formats? They could do that on Sky News. If they think the BBC is biased, okay, go to Sky News, go to Fox News. At least Fox News isn't the network of a hostile foreign state, it's the network of an ally. It's biased. You see, the issue here is not about measuring up bias against bias. The issue is understanding what RT is, where it comes from. It is not the answer against mainstream news because this is kind of go to, oh, well, the mainstream media won't cover this. RT, I would argue, is mainstream in the Russian establishment. RT is not some sort of brave little independent network. It is directly a tool of the Putin regime. And anyone who can't see that just hasn't done their homework. So I find I don't have any respect, or if I did, I've lost respect for any politician who appears on these networks, despite everything that we know about them, despite everything that's happened. If they think, oh, I'm going on, I mean, Corbyn tried to justify his appearance on RT by saying that Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the Labour Party, which is frankly why I'm pleased he didn't win, it's issues like this. Corbyn tried to justify his appearance on RT by claiming that he was assured of full independent thought. It doesn't matter if a politician thinks that they are critical of Putin. It doesn't matter if they think they're going to go on that network and just speak their mind, because they will be used. They will be used. So really, I would like to see some of my compatriots wake up. It might just be an ego thing. I mean, Norman Baker said, I will take any opportunity to get my views out there. Obviously, as a politician, you're an influencer, you want that goes with the territory. But it doesn't justify selling out to anything. I mean, would that mean in the 30s that he would have went to Goebbels as a propaganda outlet? Because hey, it's just another point of view. Really, it's I find it staggering how people can even attempt to explain away this. If you appear on a network, you're legitimizing it. So if as a journalist I contribute to the Sun, I would have to I would have to explain that and justify that. I would have to say, well, yeah, I've written for the Sun. I I hope I never will. I still think that when we're talking about internalism, British tabloids, right wing, left wing, the point is it's internal. It's not the tool of a foreign state. So I don't think selling out for the Sun is as bad as selling out for RT. I really don't. I think it's still controversial from a left wing politician, but I don't think it's as bad, and that's why. That's my take.